Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. Fields it right around the goal line. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
Okay, break.
They'll start out on the ground at Saquon Barkley, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Well, this defense for the Saints, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
That time on the outside, pretty nice job as a cornerback to shed any would-be blockers and make the tackle.
And think about the praise we're giving him, what his coaches are giving, but how about the respect he gets from his teammates to be a complete corner who doesn't just cover receivers, but also...
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And the Saints are going to take possession of the football.
Part of why they came into this week with a winning record is that they feed off of mistakes like this, and now it's a prime opportunity. Just moments in the game to get a short field touchdown off of their big defensive play. Now on the other side, they were already the underdog in this one. They just made their uphill battle just a little bit tougher.
So here are the Saints now with great starting field position. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing. Draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book. He's an asset to have in any offense.
Following the interception, Winston. Olave over the middle. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. 2nd down and 4. First carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed.
Touchdown, Saints! Alvin Kamara. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with Buddy George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Saints use the only turnover to get on the board first here in this one. Will Lutz on for the point after. He hasn't missed an extra point all season, and he won't miss this one either, and it's 7-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it's polished off through the air with a touchdown to Alvin Kamara. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Markel Lee from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Smith. Catch made by Slayton. Flashes another juke.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there, because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Forced out to... Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
On the return, Hardy. A solid 12-yard return after the 55-yard punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. New Orleans Saints, they get ready to set up shop for their 2nd drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their 1st drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
A 2nd down throw for Winston. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, and what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 of 6 and went out in the 1st round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball club. That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this 1st quarter. On 1st down, Smith. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. Again, it's Barkley. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. Here's Hardy set to return. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Winston. He finds his man, complete. That's Barton. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The Saints at a perfect 5-0 here to begin the campaign. They've certainly found their groove of late. Winners of 5 in a row.
And this team is absolutely playing their best football right now. This is the best that we've seen them play in a long time, partner. Sky's the limit as far as they're concerned. Their confidence really soaring.
23 yards the pickup there. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Winston. That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play. His 2nd touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, that connection, it looked like they maybe had some pre-play communication. Maybe one of them noticed an area that was open to the defense to get the pass to.
When you put the time in, sometimes you have that great silent communication that you just noticed right there, because the best quarterback-receiver combos in the NFL, they know how to make those adjustments at the line of scrimmage when they see something pre-play, and they got it done there.
Let's look to add the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. And New York set to take the field. And they are a game under 500 now following the loss a week ago. And this is a team, Charles, that just has not been able to string victories together.
Yeah, they're certainly going the wrong way, aren't they? Because it looked like they had things pointing in the right direction, but now they've lost 2 straight. And that means this game is vital, extremely important, because if they fall 2 games below 500, the road back into playoff contention, awfully difficult.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Now Smith, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
So here are the Saints to take over. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well.
Ready.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Azeez Ojulari in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long.
Winston to give. It's Kamara.
The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. And New York set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance, they've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. He'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? So we read message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the 3rd quarter. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And the Saints set to go here to begin the 3rd quarter. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 18. They start the second half here with Williams. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. They'll get this out to Kamara. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. The Saints 1st down there on a gain of 11.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the gun, it's a run for Kamara. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. It's 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Winston. This is caught. It's Hardy. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 61 yards. Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Try to pound it in, Kamara. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up.
Again, Kamara. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Lutz to try to add the PAT. And the lead is now 24. That time a 6-play drive. And the capper came from Alvin Kamara on the touchdown run. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter.
Let's go.
Now Geno on first down. That's going to be caught by Josh Reynolds. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Geno down to throw. He finds Robinson. A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Smith. This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints 43. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. A first down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
And give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Oh, a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Robinson hauling it in outright. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Give them 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
3rd and long always tilts to the defense. And I just remember as a player how many times it was hammered into my head. Know where the sticks are and get him down in front of it. But sometimes what happens is you worry about where that is much more than the person who has the ball. And on that play, they didn't have enough focus on him. And somehow he turned a short pass into a first down.
Now Geno. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter play. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Back to throw, Smith. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Desperation time for Smith on 4th down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And the Saints are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on 4th down. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side. Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10
at their own 23. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
On 3rd down, Winston. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Flushed out right. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Throwing is Smith. And the catch made by Johnson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. On 1st and 10, Smith. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Darius Slayton, 56 yards. And the Giants are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter. Geno's going to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll find his way in for 2. And we're back to a 2-score game. The lead's cut to 16. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. The 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Winston. He finds his man, complete. That's Barton. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 23 yards the pickup there. Winston here to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Whistles now in a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Now the Giants will use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. A 10th carry for Kamara. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
That didn't just feel like good defense there. That felt like pride, didn't it? He's already gotten into the end zone twice, trying to get there for a third time. No one likes to have the hat trick against them.
That is caught by Olave. Touchdown, New Orleans.
A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year.
And the Saints add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. So that drive in total 8 plays.
And it was Chris Olave who finished things off with a touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
And New York set to take the field.
Facing a big fourth quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled.
Now a first down throw, it's Smith. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Smith, an incomplete pass on first down. Now it's 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Geno. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Smith.
He finds his man. It's Robinson.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Play action. It's Smith. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's going to let it fly. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
Throwing on 3rd down, Smith.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Here we go, here we go.
They snap it to Smith. Got a man, Slayton. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
Now it's Smith. Looking right sideline, that's complete. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Smith. And he's got it. Touchdown, Giants. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Giants are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Here's Smith looking to throw. Being chased out left. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Tried to roll out and make a play outside of the pocket, but couldn't get it done.
When you don't have a lot of space for your receivers to operate, and down there it's really condensed when you're snapping the ball from the 2-yard line, rolling out, you extend a play, but you don't necessarily open up better avenues for people. And on that play, there's just nowhere to go with the ball, and you end up getting sacked.
Taken at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
They'll go ahead and take the knee here, and the unbeaten season will continue. So